So you're working that dead end job. You hate going to work every day. You're trying to find a career change. Actually, you're actively looking for a career change because the job you're working right now is just not getting it done. Well, welcome to part three in what you need to be thinking about when considering that dream job. I'm your host, Dr. Obed Magni, your executive coach and leadership speaker. And we're going to be talking about a couple more things today in this episode on what you need to be thinking about when considering that dream job. So, first things first, not every job that you're thinking of, or every career, I should say, has to be something that's grandiose. Okay, you don't have to have a dream that, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be the CEO of a large oil organization or Microsoft or something like that. It's okay to start somewhere in the middle. So not every idea, not every career has to be something grandiose. Okay, and I'll give you guys an example, something specific with me. So I was a police officer for nearly 2 decades. And one unit that I worked in was the professional standards unit. And so this was the policy department of the organization. You read policies and procedures all day long. It's a 24/7 job. I wanted to work there because it aligned with me. It was something that I was passionate about. I know, like, who wants to read policies and procedures for fun, right? But that's something that I enjoy doing for a lot of reasons. Number one, growth, learning about how, writing policies that converge with, legal issues and labor issues and all that kind of stuff, and how do policies come together and how they're formed. How do you protect the employer? How do you protect the employee? How do you come up with something that works for everyone and that's just? That was just something that I was always fascinated in. It was something that was always, I just wanted to get into. So, as a police officer, 99% of police officers want nothing to do with policies and procedures, let alone read it all day long. So the idea of me wanting to work there, people looking at me like, man, you crazy? You want to do that? Oh, you couldn't pay me to do that. I'd rather, run around here and chase bad guys or do something else. But the idea of reading policy, oh my God, Lord help me. So that was something that, again, it aligned with me. I was cool with it. Everything's great. You got to know what it is that aligns with you and what you're passionate about. Okay, so please, please, please keep that in mind. Uh, Something else is you've got to consider what brings you joy. Okay, I know it sounds cliche-ish, right? But when you're thinking about joy and satisfaction, you know, the number one reason why people leave their jobs is poor relationships with their supervisors and or organization, right? And they're just not having fun. They just dread coming to work every day. Maybe the work is fun. Maybe the work is not fun, but they like the. You have to know what it is. You have to know what your purpose is when you're at work every day. And that's very, very important. Don't just take a job simply because it's got a sexy title or, it looks good on paper. I mean, I understand if you're trying to get to a certain level and, you're just taking those steps. That's one thing. But don't go chasing job titles. It's not going to work out for you in the end. You got to find something that brings you passion because you're going to put in probably a lot more effort than the next person. Okay, so if you're somebody who has a passion for cars and repairing cars and that kind of stuff, you're probably going to be a heck of a lot better at that job than somebody who has no passion and really doesn't want to do it. Makes sense, right? So make sure you're thinking about those things. Um, there are a ton of careers out there, and I mean a lot of careers out there that you need to take into consideration, and you got to do the research and find it, right? So there's a lot of resources out there, LinkedIn, Indeed, and there's a few others. But understand that find what it is that resonates with you here and go from there, okay? So, what are you going to do to take that first step today? All right. I just want to encourage you when looking for that dream job, that you take that first step, start looking. I'm going to do a series on resumes because that's very, very important. But if you have an old resume, make sure you dust that off and update it. But look for a future video where I do talk about, the do's, the don'ts of resumes and so on. So again, my name is Dr. Obed Magni. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and share with anyone you know who will find value with this content. Till then, I will see you next time.